This is the MEC 203 final project of Group 33. This is our assembled model of our unicycle, the Clown Cycle 2.0. Before moving on to production, we started experimenting with basic sketches of universal unicycle parts, such as a crank frame, pedals, seat and wheel. From our preliminary sketches, our final parts are seen with their dimensions as follow. Beginning with the crank, we have the dimension top, front and side views. Taking note of notations 1 and 2, we can see the dimensions that require tolerances. Next, we have the dimensioned orthographic views for the joint. Taking notes of notations 1 and 2, we can see the dimensions that require tolerances. Following the joint, we have the dimensioned orthographic views for the pedal. Taking note of notation 1, we can see the dimension that requires a tolerance. Next, we have the dimensioned orthographic views for the seat. Taking note of notation 1, we can see the dimension that requires a tolerance. Finally, we have the dimensioned orthographic views of the wheel. Taking note of notation 1, we can see the dimension that requires a tolerance. Our first step of assembly involves the wheel and crank. We connect the two parts with a locational interference fit, using a P6H6 hole and shaft tolerance. This allows for synchronized motion of the crank and wheel. Next, we attach the joint to the crank using a clearance fit. We used a G8H8 hole and shaft tolerance to allow the crank to rotate freely within the joint. For the connection between the pedals and the crankshaft, we used a locational interference fit to ensure the pedal can rotate about the shaft freely. In doing so, we used a P6H6 hole and shaft tolerance. Finally, to complete our assembly, we connected the seat to the joint using a locational translation fit. This will ensure that the seat is fixed in motion, but adjustable when stationary. To do this, we used a N7H6 hole and shaft tolerance.